Hey everyone, and welcome to another Should You Pull. Currently right now I'm actually working on the guard class guide. However, we have a new banner out, so I'm going to postpone that video until the next one because I don't want to have the same situation as last time where I make a banner video towards the end of the banner expiring. I already did my first 10 pull. Didn't get any of the operators on the banner. I think I ended up getting platinum. Yeah, I ended up getting platinum. Not terrible. I actually kind of needed a 5-star potential upgrade for an anti-aerial sniper, so not entirely bad. But nonetheless, let's just sort of jump right to it, and I guess we'll just go from left to right. So we have 6-star Saria on this banner. You can roll for her, or you can get her off of the distinction shop for 180 distinctions. So Sarya falls into the healing defense defender sort of archetype. Really good. Her second skill in particular is quite useful and popular just due to its low SP cost, and it gives her a really good AoE heal. Her third skill might be also useful in the case of like a more like powerful or more consistent heal. She also has a good SP charge on her skill. It does require that the allies get healed, so while she does have this AoE heal, it's only going to refund, like it's only going to give someone 1 skill point if that person's been healed. Overall, Saria is considered the best at her sort of role and definitely worth pulling for. She's very popular in certain contents within the game, particularly when medics are banned. That's also something that's very popular during contingency contracts, so definitely do consider rolling for Saria. Next we have our first 5-star unit, that's Glaucus. So I did not pull Glaucus, but Glaucus falls into the supporter class, and they both deal arts damage and they slow. Glaucus's main niche is that they attack aerial units first, so they're kind of like an anti-aerial sniper in some sense, but they're still a supporter. Has some niche use. There are some maps and some challenges where you'll have to deal with drones, but snipers are banned, and in those cases Glaucus does have does shine in that niche situation, but overall, like, not something that you're going to be dealing with very often. Wouldn't recommend pulling on this banner specifically for Glaucus, but if you do happen to get them, you know, not terrible. Definitely like worth some niche investment. Franca similarly falls in, well, not similarly, Franca falls into the guard class, and she falls into sort of the duelist archetype. She does have some use with some of her talents, and either talents or skills that let her ignore like some enemy defense, which lets her sort of, you know, duel very well. But her second skill, if I'm not mistaken, which is like her main skill, drops her defense to 0. Like, it's just a full-on defense decrease, which kind of sucks. I mean, like duelist guards don't really have like super high defense to begin with. They're normally like HP and attack oriented, but nonetheless, you still don't really want to lose that defense, especially if you're dueling a like physical damage dealer. I guess technically the skill doesn't really matter in if you're dueling with an arts damage dealer. So I guess to some sense she could be used as kind of like an arts sort of assassin to sort of like get rid of some arts damage on the enemy team. But her 1v1 dueling potential, like it's there, but I think there are personally better options. I don't think that she particularly like supersedes other like lower star operators. So for that reason, I mean, like, I don't really consider, I definitely wouldn't roll specifically for Franca. But I mean, if you do get her, you could potentially consider investing into her. Personally, I would just sort of like leave her on the side. At least that's what I did on my main account. I personally just ignored her. Wasn't really worth it in my opinion. Our final 5-star unit here is Neural, and I actually do have Neural on this account. Neural also falls into the Healing Defender category. Pretty solid defender overall. I mean, has a bit less HP than even actually her 1-star counterpart Gumi, but she's got pretty solid heals. She's also got a talent that boosts her heals, and then upon upgrading further helps boost the heal of allies. All of this is good stuff for a healing defender, and personally, if you get her, I would say she would normally be worth the investment. I think the one issue for her is that her direct upgrade is actually in this banner, and so there's really not a reason to specifically roll for Neural. Like, if you choose to roll on this banner, you definitely prefer to get Saria over Neural. And there's really just like no 2 cents. Like, there's really just no way to like justify rolling specifically for Neural on a banner that Sarya is available. Just because Sarya is just pretty much a direct upgrade to Neural in pretty much every single way. You know, has the potential for AoE heals, unlike Neural, who can only heal one ally at a time. Neural also has a restriction on her first skill that prevents her from healing allies above 50% HP. She does have a charge system to sort of help compensate for that, but that's not something that Saria needs to deal with at all. Like, she can heal allies regardless of their HP. That helps her keep them topped off. She also has a charge system skill on her first, like, her first skill is directly pretty much, or is the exact same as Neural's, with the healing an ally with less than 50% HP. But her second and third skill, on the other hand, just like they ignore that and still let her function as a defender. Whereas with Neural, her second skill also removes the restriction on not being able to heal allies with less than 50% HP, but she does stop attacking, and that kind of sucks. Not that you would normally expect your guards to be like primary damage dealers, but they do have like an okay amount of attack, and they can perform some amount of damage. And some amount of damage is better than obviously like no amount of damage. Saria in particular also has this buffing skill that increases her attack and defense that stacks over 5 times. So yeah, I mean, just being able to still dish out some damage does certainly help with making Saria a bit of a better unit than Neural, at least in terms of making her second skill and her third skill like overall better than Neural's second skill. The first skill is the same, but you're like not really gonna use it after you unlock this second skill, whereas with Neural, you're kind of stuck with the first skill, since the second skill is more of a bursty skill for Neural. So overall, like, if you were to get Neural, I'd say like normally she'd be fine. The problem is really just the banner, which just kind of has her direct upgrade on it. So, you know, if you're gonna roll on this banner, definitely roll for Saria over Neural. And that's kind of the sort of general gist of this banner, which is just that you have kind of lackluster 5-star units, but like pretty solid 6-star units. Yeah, like without further ado, let's just get into Schwarz, who's I guess the main 6-star for this banner. So Schwarz falls into the close range sniper archetype. If you watched my sniper video previously, you'll know that her and Province are pretty much the only 2 operators in this archetype. Some people also like her for like obvious waifu reasons too. But Schwarz here is mainly, from a gameplay perspective, like here to deal a bunch of damage. And she does that very, very well with her sort of crit passive, as well as her skills, which sort of modify her crit passive. Her final skill in particular brings it to 100%, but changes her like attack to just like being a line, kind of like Ifrit's. But if you can keep the enemy in that line, like, she is a boss slaying like machine. Many people use her to like deal with tough enemies in stages, even enemies that actually have a decent amount of defense will still take like a chunk of damage from Schwarz. She really is capable of dealing a lot of damage, just due to these massive attack buffs, like 140% on a 646 attack. That's also, don't forget, going to be increased by like trust bonuses. Is a lot of damage, especially when you're then proccing an additional increase of damage to 160, and then shaving off a fifth of that target's defense. Like, she is able to output a surprising amount of damage when her S3 is active, and yeah, arguably the best boss killer in the game, and very much worth investing into if you actually pull her. So that pretty much concludes this banner. I know there isn't like much to say here, and that's just because this banner is, in my opinion, very, very skewed. You have these 5-star units, which, you have one which is like Neural, who isn't normally bad, but just has a direct upgrade here in this exact same banner. So the only reason you would like level Neural from this banner is if you roll hard on it and you just don't happen to get Saria. And then you have Franca and Glaucus, both of whom aren't like terrible either per se. Glaucus has some niche use, but like Franca is just like, in my opinion, not all that amazing. So you have these kind of like 2 lackluster 5 stars, one that would normally be okay but just like isn't due to the banner, and then you have these 2 6-star units that are like very, very good. And so me personally, if you're going to roll on this banner, you're pretty much rolling hard in order to get one of these 6-star units. And outside of that, if you don't like want either of these 6-star units, personally, I would just pass. And if you have the distinctions, like if you have the 180 distinctions, and you're looking for a healing defender, honestly, like Sarya is one of the most like widely requested units, just again for that contingency contract that she does so very well in. If you need her, I would honestly just consider just paying the distinctions, grabbing her, and if you already have Schwarz or you don't care about Schwarz, just leave it at that and just like skip the rolls. I think that pretty much is going to cover it for this banner. Maybe we could try a 10 pull. I do happen to have some spare currency, so yeah, why not? Let's give it a try. Let's see if we actually get anything of value here. Oh, we do have a 6-star. Let's see. Oh, we have a lot of 3 stars in the beginning. Trash. Lots of trash. But okay. Oh, look, there we go. We have our Schwarz.